I have to probably restart. I have to restart the game, not the. Let's see if I quit the game. Does the screen come back again? No. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it works. Now it works. It sometimes bugs out a little bit if you Alt Tab. Oh, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten all day. Took a bit longer than I thought to finish the playthrough, because I thought the quest or the main story campaign would end much sooner than it did. Okay, let's jump into it. Read this already. Deactivate machine.
The machine controlling the storm winds down. The clattering of its machinery settles into a low whir and then, at last, hiccups to a halt. Beyond the tower, the black, roiling clouds of Andra's mortar roll away from the ancient city of Ukaizo, with only a tired sigh of wind to see them off. And on that last breath of wind, comes to you a familiar sound. The ring of a bell. The bell's ringing is soft, not the clangor and torrent you've grown used to. It calls to your soul, and your soul yearns to follow it. Your soul flees from your body and into the beyond, chasing that sound. It leads you at last to Bareth's realm, to that cold platform and room of endless doors.
Watcher, your journey nears its conclusion.
The pallid knight stands before you, her gaunt face impassive.
Let's make this quick. I've got an engagement with a living statue and I don't want to be late.
You rush headlong toward the end. Do you ever pause to consider where it is you are headed? Soon you will confront Aethys for what will likely be the final time. And you will do so as the Herald of Bareth, the only creature on the face of Aora to whom he will listen. Remember that.
The pallid knight inclines her head to you, black hair hanging lank in her face. She steps back and cedes the floor to Helia with a small, resigned sigh.
If Aethys truly intends to go through with his mad plan to destroy the wheel, a generation's worth of souls will be trapped in the in-between. So many would suffer. How can Aethys be so cruel? He cannot just abandon them. Aethys must help the Kith find a quick solution.
Abaddon strides forward.
Aethys thrust this crisis on the Kith. They did not bring it upon themselves. Their only mistake was entrusting us to watch over them. Who will help them rebuild their world now?
Aethys will reveal every secret of the gods. Will Kith be able to change the established order if they have no wonder to inspire them? Aethys must help them resolve this quickly, lest every one of Aora's few remaining mysteries be laid plain.
We're past the point of help. We need to be led.
You have come to your senses.
Oh wait, that wasn't what I wanted to say.
Destroyed, Kith will tear themselves apart. It is the gods' duty to prevent that happening, lest they doom us all. And as Kith must be ruled, so too must the gods. I say that if Aethys is so eager to throw down the mantle of power and step aside, I shall take my rightful place as Queen of the Gods again.
Oh, yeah, okay, I actually wanted to say that, but yeah, I kind of want to say fuck the gods.
Kith are strongest when they follow our lead, and we are strongest when we lead in turn. United in purpose with the gods, Kith can accomplish things that without us, they could never have even begun. They must be shown their boundaries to surpass them.
Kith will not solve Aethys' puzzle on their own. And without an established order to fight against, the bonds that bind them dissolve, and they fight amongst themselves.
No, we have to figure this out in our own time, at our own pace.
That confidence is what will save Kith, Watcher. Do not lose it when you stand before Aethys.
Boudica's firm hand is but the motherly smothering of Helia by another name. Mortals should have no special advantages. Only once Kith have striven to improve themselves through trial will they truly know their measure. Kith must suffer to find their strength if they are to survive the world into which Aethys drags them. Our intervention in your struggle would be a cruelty and counter to our purpose.
He lets his words hang in the air for a moment. Gaze, level with your own.
Indeed. Kith must discover for themselves what it is they are worth, and of what it is they are capable. What we do for them, they do not learn for themselves. Trial breeds ingenuity. If our work of generations was not in vain, Kith will succeed in spite of Aethys' actions. I have faith in Kith's ability to meet Aethys' challenge. Do not mistake my words for indifference, Watcher. They are born from a fierce belief in your potential, not a refutation of it.
Aethys wouldn't do this if he didn't agree with you. Maybe you're not doomed after all.
And yet you come to Ukaizo with only the Huana at your back. All that Kith stand to lose. And even then, your leaders could not join hands, squabbling instead over prestige and resources. You believe that will change when my final death comes calling? You are a greater fool than I thought. Margaret is blinded by her affection for mortals. She does not see that entropy is the destiny of all things. If Aethys were wise, he would destroy everything. End life, end reincarnation, end death. Kith have had their chance. It is time to let silence reign.
As Rimmergon's words fade, the Pallid Knight returns. She no longer towers over you, a giant even among the gods, but meets you at your height. She lets the arms crossed over her chest fall to her sides. She speaks to you openly, plainly, an expression almost like tenderness, turning up the corners of her lips.
Well, Watcher, you know where we stand. What do you believe?
Everything that's happened, everything that will happen, it's the gods' fault. We were better off without you.
The gods were once Kith. Thousands of Kith from long ago, but Kith still. If we are diseased at our core, as you imply, then so too are you. Now the time has come for us to part, Watcher. I laid upon you a difficult duty, and I know you desire to be free of it. You will be in time, but not now. You have work to do yet. You are no stranger to hard choices. You killed Theos, and when his soul was laid bare before you, you chose to return it to the wheel. You made his memory his penance. Remember the strength it took to make that choice, and know that you alone may sway Aethys now. When you stand before him, choose your words carefully.
She claps her gauntleted hands together. and a sound like thunder rumbles through the room. As the floor crumbles and falls away beneath you, you hear the sound of a single bell ringing, and beneath it, the faintest whisper.
Consciousness return in a wave as the last of the machine's energy dissipates. The calming of the storm reveals the sprawling city around you like sand wiped from a mosaic. You see the distant outline of Eothas raising his fist in triumph and purpose. Peering over the edge of the tower, you make out a distant shape amid the ruins below. A ragged ship has settled offshore where it lists at a drunken angle, the flag of the Principe drooping from the tilted mast. The empty deck tells that the surviving crew have long since boarded a skiff and rowed to shore, which means you're no longer alone on Ukaiso. Maybe they came to know as a cyan drawer weapon. Okay, where do I go now? Where do I go? Guess I have to go down. Do I go back to the Grand Promenade or?
So now it comes to this, Aimiko. You think my gratitude is yours for disabling the storms? It seems I did not require Rivan's ship to reach Ukaiso.
Really, your parts are worse than
The
cockroaches.
Principi have adapted. No, thrived for centuries. We survived the fall of the grandest empire Eora has ever known. You may slaughter us now and then, but you can never stop us. We will ransom, thieve, and forge a future for our continued blood, long after you are but dust.
Spoken like a true new blood.
Gods, Korkores, Kasi.
I guess we're just fucking killing them.
I've got this.
Jesus Christ, ending this playthrough took a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm starting to get really hungry, so I'm just gonna be bum rushing through the end here because I really need to eat. I haven't eaten all day. I just read it very quickly to myself, and if anyone watches VODs of this, they can just pause the game and read it stuff themselves.
You descend into the ancient winding streets of Ukaiso. Battered by storms for thousands of years, as you approach the center of the city, The weathered architecture gives way to more luminous objects. An immense Anguithan machine floats above the monument, suspended by invisible energy emanating from a well of light beneath. The only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra, intertwined with fragments of Ukaizo's ruins that it is carried through.
Strange to see Ukaizo in this. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, all people of all nations. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel?
Mortals are going to need a head start on things to prevent the gods from reestablishing control. You need to inspire them.
Mortals are already inspired. Animancy is poised to go far beyond. Why does Helia think I should lend more power to mortals?
If this is truly for the benefits of mortal, you are obligated to set them on the right path, not just leave them stranded.
I see your point. Perhaps it was naive. From where should mortals draw their inspiration?
You should look to the future, their imagination and inventive spiritual guidance.
Very well, Watcher. I must attend to my final work. You have carried a heavy burden across the day.
No sooner have Aethel's words entered your mind than you hear one final dissonant ring of the chime within you, then silence. The knot that formed when the Pallid Knight first addressed you in the beyond is now gone.
You are free now. As free as and many will come to you for help in the years ahead. Animancers, I have great hope for you. But always remember that your future is for you.
Aethys squares himself to the machine. As you move to a safe distance, he draws his fist back and resumes his assault. He returns to his task, each strike bringing with it the sound of cracking cracks appear along the hands, then race up the arms. Aethys does not slow his assault, but continues unabated. Its brass rings twisted. The machine, you see Aethys' arm shatter upward from his hand through his elbow. A flash of light and heat bursts from the core, accompanied by a cacophony of destruction. As Aethys' voice fades, the enormity of what you've accomplished sinks in. You have confronted a god. You have rediscovered the ancient city where the wheel was forged. And on your recommendation, Aethys disperses his essence and that of the thousands of souls within him to centers of knowledge and learning around the world. Animancers, engineers, wizards, and scholars of all stripe. While some of these developments prove beneficial to Kith, others are decidedly less so. But such is the price of innovation. Reclaiming Ukaizo is both a symbolic and a practical victory for the Huana. The ancient city is a potent reminder of their people's ancient glory. The Valian Trading Company continues its operations in Deadfire, though it is forced to renegotiate. Due to these changes, the Valian Trading Company, if the Royal Deadfire Company is allowed to continue trading in the archipelago. Though they are forced, the storms across the Rauatayan mainland subside along with those of Andra's Mortar. However, the battle at Andra's Mortar leaves the fleet of the Principe Sen Patrena in shambles. Thus sundered, they fight among each other until they continue to harass unguarded merchant vessels, but they are fit for. Despite other tensions across the archipelago, Port Maje remains a model of peaceful, productive cooperation between the Huana and the Valian Trading Company. As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform. Though the Kahanga monarchy moves its new seat of government to Ukaizo, Nekataka continues to be a busy. The pirates continue smuggling food into the gullet, and the Raparu embrace their benefactors. aiding and concealing their smoke, Ukaizo reveals more about the ancient art of water shaping than the guild could have hoped to learn in another century of work. With this new knowledge, water shapers across the archipelago, your brief encounter with Letharn proves deeply plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesango. Letharn begins questioning his faith in Aethys. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him. The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. The ships continue to disappear at the southeastern fringe of the archipelago, and stories circulate of a colony of vampires and gulls. The Queen soon sends a contingent of her bravest warriors who end the horrors of Splintered Reef. The dragon, Neraskirlas, no longer passes between Aora and the White Void, and the dead flow slowly breaks apart. Hafjorn leads the remaining Harbingers of Dusk on a return pilgrimage to the White that wins, and they scatter into the clans and settlements from which, in besting the Beast of Winter, you earned the Death God's mercy rather than his enmity. The deity remains characteristically unforthcoming about his... Though your adventures alter the destiny of Aora and the balance of power in Deadfire, in the days sailing back from Ukaizo, Adair finds himself disillusioned with all gods, his own above all. Where the gods have touched Deadfire, he sees only destruction, loss. Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter. But as you all travel, Adair grows increasingly uncomfortable with her attempts to engender. Shodi's journey through the Deadfire on your ship is an eye-opening experience for the sheltered farm girl. After many souls harvested, more lives aided, and much adventure had, the priestess Aloth renews his commitment to transforming the Leaden Key from a tool of secrecy and oppression into a watchdog organization. With the wheel broken, Seraphin seems little impacted by your journey. Always knew the gods were larger than me, he tells you. On the evening for assisting the Watcher with the Huana conquest of Ukaizo, Pelagina is immediately dismissed from the Brotherhood. With no friends left among the Valian Trading Company, pleased with the Navy's conduct throughout the Deadfire campaign, Maya returns to active duty. She can find a free drink and a sharp salute. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. So does Ashiza. Takehu distances himself from the problems of the Deadfire, giving the tribes a reprieve from godlike omens. In Gati's silence, he bids you farewell, suggesting that you seek your next adventure in a brothel or tavern, where consequences begin and end at the front. Your pursuit of Aethys and your journey to Ukaizo signal the end of forces that have shaped the lives of Kith and the course of nations. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Bareth, you return to your ship and begin the long journey.
Okay, I guess this is it for Pillars of Eternity 2 for now. I'm gonna go eat and chill and probably go to the gym and stuff, and then maybe I will, or maybe, oh no, wait, yeah, I don't have time to go to the gym, it's too late. Okay, I'll eat and chill and stuff, and maybe I will start another playthrough in a few hours. Most likely I will just wait until tomorrow morning to start the playthrough, and then I will do some Magran's fires, like the Barath and Magran challenges on Path of the Dam with upscaling on, so that will hopefully be very challenging. So if you guys are watching these VODs, I hope you enjoyed watching the gameplay, and yeah, see ya.